You have to mess your mind. And what I mean by that, you have to actually sit down and think about who you are as a person and think about where you're headed. And a lot of us can't do that because a lot of us lack self confidence and self worth, really. And I found that kind of sad, but I also feel for those people because I was like that. You know, you would look in the mirror and be like, damn, I don't look that good today, but your mind is really a reflection of who you are outside. If you fill your mind with negativity, you're gonna be a negative person. But if you fill it with positivity, you're gonna be a positive person. And I say to master your mind because a lot of us are just walking around feeling negative, hatred, and bitter around the ones towards us. And I don't get why, because we can truly change how we think and truly change who we are as a people just from taking the time to think about who we are as humans. Because that's all we are. We're humans. Yeah, we make mistakes. We're not perfect at all. You know, we're not Jesus Christ. He's the most perfect man of all. He died for our sins. He shed blood for us, and he atoned for the sins that we can never atone for. But I say to mess your mind because you must truly know who you are as a person to know where you want to be in life. And a lot of people can't even do that. They can't just figure out where they want to go and take that initiative and that drive. Because everything in this life is like a car, bro. Once you press that gas, it's either you stop or you keep going. And you got to keep going to get to the destination where you want to. You really do, because in this life, nothing comes easy. Nothing is just going to fall into your lap or your hand. Everything that you want really is in here, but you got to want that. You got to have that mentality and that drive to actually want and actually to succeed in life. And when you take that time to figure out what you want, you're going to be so much better than everybody else. Because again, there's no competition in this world. The only person that's stopping you from doing what you want to do is you, and that little voice in your head saying, I don't really think this is us. I don't really think we should do that. But you got to shut that up. You got to shut that all the way up, because that's not who you truly are as a person. That is just basically the enemy trying to tell you, yeah, I don't think you should go after your purpose, because I think I'd rather choose comfortability, but you don't want comfortability. Comfortability is where complacency and stagnancy comes from, bro. Do you really want to be that person who just has hidden potential and doesn't unlock it? No. You want to be that person, that warrior or that woman that actually has the drive to change who they want to be and change people around them. Because once you do that, people are going to feel your energy shift. They're going to feel that confidence and that aura around you. And yeah, you'd have people who be like, oh, this person really think there's something. Yeah, I am something. I think highly of myself. Do you think highly of yourself? I could say that I look good. I could say that I feel good. I could say that I smell good. But a lot of people, they just have these little voices in their head that are just so that just dims their own light. And a lot of people just can't shut it out because they're just stuck in their head every single time. And it's sad. It really is, because a lot of people are just stuck in a daydream state. They're stuck in hopes and dreams, and they're not doing anything to just take the time to figure out who they truly are. Because everybody has potential. Everybody has the power to change their lives. But it's just about that want, and it's just about that drive that you need to have in your head. Because yeah, there's gonna be times where you feel tired. There's gonna be times where there's doubts, but you can't let that just get to you. You can't. Because once you do, you're basically just showing them. You're showing the people around you that you're weak. You're showing them that you can't even keep promise to yourself. And you're just showing yourself that you're you're nothing almost to yourself. That you're basically just nothing. You're basically like an NPC, bro. If you can't master your mind, you're literally just an NPC. If you can't take the time to sit down and think with yourself and be comfortable with yourself, you're not gonna be anywhere in life. You're not gonna be anywhere in life. And I can say that confidently because I used to be like that. You know, I used to just be doom scrolling. I used to just smoke. You know, everybody goon. But once you take that time to figure out who you truly are, you're gonna be so much better off, because again, there's no competition in this world. Everybody else is just stuck doing what the world does, what the world wants them to do, and they're not even thinking outside the box. They're not even taking that that time to go at what they want, that time to figure out where it is, to figure out where they want to be in life. But when you take that time, you be like, okay, this is what I gotta do. This is what I gotta do. Just go at it. Just do it. Because you're gonna be looked at weird when you actually start doing the things you want to do. And when everything starts falling in place for you, uh, people are gonna be like, damn, that actually worked. Yeah, it worked because I took the time to figure out what I wanted to do, and I took the time to figure out who I am as a person. And that right there shows how much mental strength you have, because a lot of people are just mentally drained. They're just mentally exhausted from the things that are outside of them, because they allow things that they can't control get to them. They allow what people think get to them. And you can't let that be you. You really can't. You got to be your own person. You got to have your own self identity, your own self worth. Because when you have that self worth and that confidence, you're going to be looking like an alien, to be honest. People are like, well, who's that guy? Who's that girl? Because they could feel your energy. They could feel that confidence when you walk into a room. Because, again, you want to be light or do you want to be darkness, basically? I choose to be light. I chose to be the change that I want to be. I chose to be the change that I want to be in other people's lives. And you really just got to choose who you are in this world. You do. Because either you just be a miserable person, or you just be an achiever and you want to succeed in life and get the things that you want. But nothing is going to come easy to you. Nothing is. But it's all about that want and that drive. And I want to change. And a lot of us don't want to change. They don't.